Let us protect religious liberty, including for the most persecuted religion on the planet today. It's called Christianity.
Thank you for joining us. There's a common saying that says that no matter how far a lie has traveled, it will just take a moment, a snap for truth to catch up with him. What we have that happened at the United States, at the United Nations by Shetima, wherein it got in there to cry a cry of pity for Palestine, but it never mentioned a word against the genocide going against the Christians in Nigeria, wherein under the APC administration in over less than 10 to 12 years, over 100,000 Christians have been killed in a systematic way to reduce the populations of the Christians. It is worrisome. And what we have now is America, Donald Trump, have decided to take a look at what is happening. I mean, when Biden was there, shortly before Biden left, a reverend from Benue State visited the Congress in America to launch the genocide going on in the Middlebelt. He complained, taking videos, taking video evidences, records, everything that needs to be taken so that America can wade in. But what we have is Joe Biden was indifferent. He didn't give a damn. But we know that one of the policies, most especially foreign policy of Donald Trump, is to ensure there is what we call religious liberty. You should not be, you shouldn't be crucified for the kind of God you believe in, provided you practice your religion in peace. But what we have had in Nigeria, unfortunately, since the emergence of APC, and most especially when Buhari was there, we all knew how the Christians were persecuted. I mean, we've had the scenario of Deborah, who was stoned to her death in Sokoto. We had so many people that were maimed, the cardinals that were beheaded by bandits, by people who said they don't want Christians. I mean, we've seen how the rise of Sharia law, all right, how the rise of Sharia law in the core northern states have been enforced on non-Christians. We have seen how the something that wants to look to like Hezbollah in the north, which call themselves Isba. These guys go to people's businesses to enforce halal product. They say that you have to sell halal product here. You have to do this. If you don't sell it, I mean, they were destroying people's businesses, what millions and billions. And for those who try to speak up, they will get destroyed. Some of them lose their lives. And these are the things that today, what we have happening in America, it is being pronounced. I've heard some people saying that, oh, America wants to cause chaos in Nigeria. Some people are saying that America wants to, bring conflict, religious war. I mean, have you all forgotten when Peter Obi said that Nigeria is in a constant fight for religious relevance? We are always in a constant fight for religious supremacy. There's no lie in that. Today in Nigeria, if you look at Nigeria, if you look at the theoretical aspect of Nigeria, if you look at the associations Nigerians belong to, if you look at the constitution, you can say that Nigeria is an Islamic state. As an outsider, you would say Nigeria is an Islamic state. And for those who are living within the contraption named Nigeria, some of us, we understand that there are some certain things that you cannot do as a Christian. Like you cannot go to the middle of a village in Kano and you start preaching, accept Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. Omo, not be you go, not be your head no go follow your neck reach house. A woman, in fact, a redeemer, and under Buhari regime, and for that matter, Buhari never spoke about this. There was nothing like condolence. There was no outburst. That woman was evangelizing in Abuja. Early morning, she has been doing this, not knowing to her that these Islamic radicals have been on her trail. That particular spot, she has been evangelizing for weeks. Then the very day they were going to descend on her, she got there, they challenged her, and they started mobbing her up. They had to they beheaded her. So many of it that we can talk about. You cannot, as a pastor today, and rejoice that your church has transferred you to the north. You know that your life is at stake. You know, you know that your life is at stake. So the foreign policy of Donald Trump today, hunting the northern Islamic radicals, is the way to go. And of course, there are so many northern influencers who are now challenging that. Who told Donald Trump, America, that we know that there's religious crisis. There's no religious liberty. There's none. Putting aside the issue of the banditry, before the issue of banditry, before the issue of Boko Harams, was there religious liberty? Shall we take a look at Kaduna? Do we know the level of conflicts that we have in Kaduna because of religious intolerance? A Christian governor of Kaduna at one time was bombed while he was in here. At flight, he was bombed. Why? Because some people who were from the northern part of Kaduna didn't like him. They didn't want him there. Yes. We know that in this contraption named Nigeria, if a Christian or a Muslim president or anybody begins to have a conversation that if Nigeria is a secular state, then let us truly be a secular state, can we extract or can we repeal the guaranteeing of the Sharia in the constitution? Now, civil war, you dey joke with. Civil war. So we know that if Shetima had gone and he didn't take the need, he didn't see it as important that people in Nigeria are being attacked for their religious beliefs. Some Muslims have been unalive for the fact that they are not Muslim enough. Yes, we have seen such. And mostly Christians in Plateau, Benue, are being chased out of their ancestral land. Their lands are being renamed to Arabic names, Islamic names. We can see how churches are being burned down, turned to mosques, praying grounds. In Southern Borno, we know what has gone there. We can see how a certain governor in Kaduna said that it is Muslim ticket that will run and administer that state for 50 years to come. I mean, you all know what I'm talking about. We know why they say that it is a Muslim ticket that can only deliver. We know that the Muslims have taunted, they've mocked the Christians, saying that never ever in Nigeria can a Christian ticket produce a presidency. And it's only a Muslim ticket that can produce a presidency. And it has been proven. So many of you who still think Nigeria has not been Islamized, perhaps you are just slow. And you are very slow at that. Because why are the northern oligarchs, why are the Islamians, why are the radicals, all of a sudden they are tweeting per second billion now against the agenda? I mean, if they want the good of the Nigerian Christians and they are not stylishly defending the Boko Harams, then the northern Muslims, if they are of good faith, should indeed support what the American, Christian liberators, what Donald Trump is saying, that Christians are being killed. They must say it. I mean, look at what United Arab Emirates does. United Arab Emirates is a Muslim country, but they banned the Muslim Brotherhood. They said they will not be complicit. They will not be complicit. They will not be quiet in the face of injustice, violence, and annihilation of people. because of religion, that they will not be a part of it. They banned Hezbollah, banned Hamas. In fact, it was the EOU at one time that released over 100 names of financiers of the Boko Haram in Nigeria. They gave that name to Buhari. What did Buhari do? He's long dead and gone. Nothing. He did absolutely nothing. The same UAE in the United Nations said that Israel peace must be guaranteed. Christians peace must be guaranteed. The same UAU said they gave a land to the Queen of England before she died, Queen Elizabeth, in Dubai there. A very vast land to build a church. You won't go to Dubai and see Muslims praying on the road. So the northern Muslims who are lamenting that Donald Trump wants to bring in instability, it is just sheer hypocrisy. They want to start their propaganda and agenda again. They want to deceive the gullible and unsuspecting Nigerians who are Christians, who see themselves as moderate Christians or liberal Christians. The question is, are Christians systematically killed in Nigeria? Yes, indeed. And there are facts to that. Within the period of 2008, 2009, 2010, Isa Pantani at one point in time called for all Christian cities, states within the Middlebelt to be forcefully Islamized. The records are there. And this guy was one of the, the very closest ally, one of the bestest ministers of Buhari. Today we can see everybody going rally around Isa Pantani. Some people are saying there's a possibility that Isa Pantani has inherited the structure of Buhari. Of course, if he does, we know why he did. Because of his religious, fanaticism. Me, I will say that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. If America, if the Christians, campaigners, advocates begin to speak that Nigeria is, suppressing the Christians, they're not allowing them to live freely, I would amplify it. If they say that will lead to civil war, it will lead to unrest, let them speak against those that are killing the Christians. I don't think you will ever find a Christian that will come out and rejoice, hey, that bandit went to bomb a mosque. Never. You won't find a Christian, no matter how deep he is in that religion, no matter how mild he is, he won't come out and say, yes, thank God they don't kill them. Neither would you see any Christian fanatic who has, since the very existence of this country, that has moved, that has pushed for jihad, or should I say, crusade against the Muslims. It hasn't happened. We have not had that in this country, and it will never happen. But it is always the way around. It is always the other way. This campaign by the administration of Trump is a welcome one, and I hope it continues to shake. In fact, more sanctions must be placed on the likes of Sheikh Gumi, on the likes of El Zakzaki, on Erifai. Sanctions that they need to reverse some words that they've said. Isa Pantani apologize and start advocating for religious tolerance. They must begin to advocate those are the sanctions that we need. That you, Pantani, begin to advocate for religious tolerance. It doesn't matter if someone is in the north and it does something that is haram, as long as he says a Christian, let him be. Nigeria is a secular state. I dare them. I don't think they can ever do that. It's just unfortunate that, the South has been polarized, most especially the Southwest. Southwest is like an equal balance between the Christians and the Muslims, and this is why the Southwest politically, in the next 5 to 10 years, will be the weakest region in Nigerian politics. Unfortunately, because I know that the religion has balkanized us, wherein we will find it difficult to align in a particular position. This is why you see that the South is finding it easy to head in a single position, because the religion plays a very critical role. Your religion shapes your philosophy. It shapes the way you interpret your perception towards life. This is why you see that the Northerners, in their large numbers, are sentimental to Boko Harams. This is why the Northerners, in their large numbers, will never come out and support the scrapping of elementary schools. This is why you see that the Northerners will tell you that the Western education is not the standard to define literacy. So you see that religion plays a very critical role. Yes, because you need cohesion, and religion plays a force in coercing people, in galvanizing people. I just hope Trump will not just make this a clickbait. I hope they will sincerely send their envoy down to Nigeria so that they can have conversations with the Nigerian government on this matter, because indeed the religious crisis is real, and we stand a chance in 2027 at that brink of collapse if Tinubu tries to push a Muslim ticket in 2027 again, because I know by 2027 it won't be an easy ride for him or any other Muslim ticket agenda that is being pushed or foisted on the Christians population. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.
Christians, this one now, or this one are Yoruba land. Let's rise up, Nigerian Christians. Let's rise up and shut Nigeria down. This kind of Christians is getting out of hand. Christians have been slaughtered, and the Nigerian Christians never rise up to say no to this. They are keeping silent. Our politicians have fed us. They have fed us. Our politicians have fed us. Most of them are responsible for this funny husband of Boko Haram that are slaughtering Christians in Nigeria, for the Islamization of Nigeria. Our politicians have fed us. Let us rise up, join hands together, shut Nigeria down. Peaceful protest, no market, no school, shut everywhere down. The people that die like this, they are not found. Another time, there was one Pentecostal church. Funny husband, Boko Haram enter, slaughter people. Even the general overseer cannot stand up to condemn the evil. Everybody are keeping silent. Why are we keeping silent? Let us rise up to say no to this killing. Let us rise up to say no to this killing. Heavy protest, shut everywhere down. No.
This is why we are not indifferent to the devastations of our neighbors near and distant. This is why we speak of the violence and aggression visited upon innocent civilians in Gaza, the illegal attack on Qatar, and the tensions that scar the wider region. It is not only because of the culture of impunity that makes such acts intolerable, but because our own bitter experience has taught us that such violence never ends where it begins. We do not believe that the sanctity of human life should be trapped in the corridors of endless debate. That is why we say, without stuttering and without doubt, that a two-state solution remains the most dignified path to lasting peace for the people of Palestine. For too long, this community has borne the weight of moral conflict. For too long, we have been caught in the crossfire of violence that offends the conscience of humanity. We come not as partisans, but as peacemakers. We come as brothers and sisters of a shared wall, a wall that must never reduce the right to live into the currency of devious politics. The people of Palestine are not collateral damage in a civilization searching for order. They are human beings, equal in worth, entitled to the same freedoms and